Okay, we're going live.
Three minutes until showtime.
Oh my gosh, you guys, we're going live in like 3 minutes. Oh my gosh, the air is on and I'm freezing to death over here. I'm hoping everything's working out A-okay. As we're getting ready to start, my computer shut down and I had to redo everything that I needed. Gotta love it, love it, love it. Oh, I forgot about that. Gotta love it. Keep track. Here we go. Okay.
2 minutes until showtime.
Oh, 2 minutes. Oh, we still got time. Whew! It's amazing how you can put out fires in such a short period of time. Hopefully, let's see, let me silence my phone. What? Oh my God.
One minute until showtime.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's going to be so exciting. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Tiffany. I'm trying to get, I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm like having technical difficulties right now. Not really. I think it's all working out. I think I finally figured it out. Okay. Gotta love it. We're going to showtime soon. Oh my God, there's quite a card spread too. So I'm excited. And I got my, it's going to be so much fun. Gotta get myself all comfy. Skorts. They always, ride up on you. It's crazy.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
People are always saying, you'll never make it.
Don't listen to them.
You feel weak and have lost all your courage.
Be brave. Be bold.
Guess what? It all ends right now. Welcome to Just Rita, a show that empowers women all over the world to be the best version of themselves. No matter where you come from, that will not dictate who you will be in life. Join your host, Rita Doman, right now and learn that you can have it all because you know you are worthy of all those goodies in life and want to make your life shine. It's just in time. It's just for you. It's just that simple. It's Just Rita. Now, here is your host of the Just Rita radio show, Rita Doman.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, no matter where you are in the world. I want to welcome you in to the Just Rita Real Talk live radio show at www.blogtalkradio.com and www.justritarealtalk.com. Oh my gosh, you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so grateful that you are here. It is Just Rita Real Talk Thursday. Tish is there, Tiffany's there, I see James is there. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm telling you this week, you know what? It's already August and I don't even know where the time went. I don't even remember July ever even happened. That is terrible, right? It's like July is the summertime. And when you're sitting out on the porch, or not sitting really, because my house is now not the house, but outside is infested with mosquitoes, especially flood mosquitoes, which are horrific. They're like the size of a dime. It's disgusting. It feels like fall. It literally, we've actually had the cicadas have already been chirping since the beginning of July. And usually you start to hear them towards the end of July, well, early August, middle of August, something like that. And we've been hearing them really early. So I have a feeling we're in for a rude awakening this winter. So it seems like we had a crazy, weird winter and then a very short summer. And now we will be going into summer or winter pretty quickly too. So I'm pretty sure the seasons are changing really, really fast. But it has been a crazy, crazy week. How's everybody's week been? Just as crazy as mine, I'm sure. Oh my gosh, I wish it feels like that like fall was here. Oh my gosh, Tish, I get it. Tish is in California. She's in Modesto, and it's 105 out there today. It's going to be around, I think, 60s and 70s this weekend. So it's very weird. You can tell it's already getting dark outside early. You can tell that the clouds and the sky is kind of changing. You can see that fall sun coming in. It's not the same. It definitely looks different. You can tell that, excuse me, that the seasons are really starting to change. So we survived the flood, that's for sure. Now we're on cleanup duty. And oh my God, like I'm not kidding you. Look at the size of a dime. The size of a dime will tell you what our mosquitoes actually look like. There's two different kinds that we have. One is a normal tiny mosquito, which is carrying the West Nile virus that they found in our county, as well as they call it a flood mosquito. And when you get by a flood mosquito, it's disgusting because here's the thing. We're septic and well. So do you know what's in septic? Yes, your waste and everybody else's waste. So as the water is all receding, that's where the larva is playing and eating and enjoying and getting into a mosquito. And so when they bite you, you actually get bit by this crazy giant mosquito that leaves like little disgusting blisters on your body. So Tiffany Patterson, who is a Young Living's person, Young Living Essential Oils, she made my community who were affected by the flood Young Living oil bug spray and itch stick and a lip balm with lavender. And so she was able to help us with all of that. So huge shout out to Tiffany because the mosquitoes are ridiculous. So I would literally get out of the shower, I spray myself with the bug spray, and I'm good to go. Like they don't bother me too much. And when I don't put on the bug spray, I definitely notice because I'm a feast for the mosquitoes. It really is. It's gross. So, hey, Wendy, my sister-in-law, who I absolutely love and adore. She's amazing. So, so it's been an insane week. I don't even know. It seems like Tuesdays go really fast for me, and so do Thursdays. It's like Tuesday to Tuesday because I take classes because I'm becoming a real estate investor, as well as on Thursday nights with the show. And it seems like everything that I do, where I have to go every week, it's just like the time flies. I can never like capture a moment. And of course, and now I've got a few little doctor's appointments. Hey, Rita Lee, how are you? Now I've got like some doctor's appointments that are being thrown in there in the mix. And it's like, I feel like I'm constantly on the go, especially this past week. I'm going from here to there, driving many a mile, but it's all worth it. So, yeah, it has been something, I'm telling you. And I'm noticing a lot of things are changing for sure, for the good. You know, especially with our flood stuff, you know, our neighborhood totally came together. And it seems like everywhere I go, things are happening, like good things. So whatever mojo I'm putting out there, it's all coming back. I have a ladies' luncheon leads that I did yesterday. I went to yesterday, and I was able to book an angel party. So, my friends, I'm telling you, if you've ever been to an angel party that I put together and I go into people's homes, so locally, I do. It's where you get a bunch of girls together, you know, your friends, whoever, not even just girls, right? And I read your cards. So each person gets read 20 to 30 minutes. I charge $25 and everybody gets read, and the cards never lie. And it's amazing how when you start to see things and things happen, it's unbelievable. I just read somebody today. She got a regular reading from me today, and it was unbelievable. She's like, I can't even believe you're telling me this, because I've already made changes, things that I know I have to do. And I'm like, well, your angels are telling you absolutely you have to keep doing what you're doing. And it was like so amazing that what I was saying she was doing, and it was all confirmation that she was getting the information. So it was really cool. I love doing it. I've got a couple of parties coming up at the end of August and early September, and that's amazing. I'm also, oh my God, listen to this. So, and I want to make sure I do the angel card reading too, because I've got my guest Rasheed coming on at 7:30. I got to call him. But I'm going to be doing a fire walk on September 10th. What? I know, right? So fire walks have always intrigued me, and I never, you know, was like totally interested, but interested because I've always been afraid that, well, I'll get burnt. You know, how can I absolutely get myself in a state where I can actually walk on, you know, fire? Well, anyway, I had done an intuitive painting a couple of weeks ago, and it turned out one of my paintings turned out to be an actual firewalk, which I was just like, holy cow. I had a whole bunch of different hands in the pot of my painting, and when I got it back, that's actually what happened. And in the last year and a half, I have had so many people talk to me about Colorado. I'm telling you, I've never heard more about one state ever in my entire life as I have heard about Colorado in this last year and a half. I'm 49 years old, and this last year and a half, it's all I hear about is Colorado, Colorado, Colorado. So my girlfriend calls me over the weekend and said, I'm doing a fire walk in Colorado on September 10th. And I was like, I'm in. Absolutely, I'm in. So I've already got my ticket, already got my plane ticket. We've already got hotel situated. There's 3 of us going, keeping costs low, and I will be doing a fire walk on September 10th. Isn't that insane? I know, right? So it's like so many things are happening. It's like my journey is taking me in so many different places that I can't even imagine. It's just been so much fun. So that's what's been happening with me. I mean, you know, all these wonderful things, all these different opportunities. Hey, Rhonda, all these opportunities are coming, and it's just been phenomenal. And the more I open up, the more I'm trusting everything that's happening. Everything just is coming to my highest good for sure. So even though I deal with, you know, some, you know, brain problems and my eye problems, I'm getting, you know, I got to get my eyes scanned on Friday, and I got to go for a couple of MRIs on Monday, and then figure all that stuff out. Hopefully it's nothing too bad, but yeah, it's insane. So, but still I'm able to keep myself going, and I'm not giving up on my dreams or anything that I'm doing. So that's something which is exciting. All right. You guys ready for your angel card reading? Because I got to call Rasheed in. Oh, it's 7-Eleven. We all know what 7-Eleven is. That is awesome. 7-Eleven. 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 It is continue with your affirmations and visualizations as they are working. What? I know they are. I'm telling you, I've got my Doreen Virtue. Oh, my angel cards. 101, 7-Eleven. Okay, so here we go. The first card that I'm supposed to read is our Ascended Master. Oh, that's interesting. So they made me do a whole bunch of cards this time. So Thoth, a high priest in the golden era at Atlantis, led his tribe to South America to become the Inca civilization. He taught that when every single aspect is in tune, the whole is automatically in harmony. Your guidance is to bring all parts of your life and your body into alignment so that you enjoy perfect health and happiness. Imagine every cell of your body is part of an orchestra. Let your thoughts conduct a magnificent concert for radiant well-being. Attune each area of your life to a higher purpose so that your life is in celebration. So the affirmation for this is my life and my health are in perfect harmony. That's awesome, especially when I just got done talking about myself. And I know that there's a lot of people out there talking about their selves or with their health and all that kind of stuff. You've got that going on. So if you can think of it like it's going to be healed, everything's taken care of, you're all good, everything is working out for you. I just want to make sure that I am still, if you guys are seeing me, let me know, because I don't know why my thing just went out. I don't know what's going on. Hey, Tammy. Oh my gosh, I have no idea what's going on with my other phone. I'm just making sure that I stay on track, but I guess I'm having computer stuff today. I don't know what's going on. Anywho, the next card is Serenity. Serenity. So with this, Serenity, you want to make sure that you are taking the time to go within. You're taking the time to, oh, what is going on with these cameras today? I must have like stuff going on for sure, because the cameras do not want to, I don't know what's going on. They're going to mess with me today. I'm telling you, when I got done and got ready, I was ready to go. Everything was set, and the computer had said there's some sort of problem and shut me down. So I had to shoot right back up and get it all situated. So anyway, so Serenity, you need to go within and start to ask questions, ask your angel questions, find out what's really going on, figure out what's happening with you, and just have a quiet mind. Listen to peaceful music, go out in nature, do that kind of thing. And you're going to be able to find out what's happening. You'll get answers. You'll have better direction, that sort of thing. So that's something that you want to do. The other card is Divine Timing for that. Oh my God, this is perfect. Oh, there you go. So let's see if it stays. There it goes. I don't know what's going on, you guys. I have somebody messing with me for sure. I have got angels or something going on in here. They're messing with me. Divine Timing. So Divine Timing is amazing. Everything has its purpose and everything has its timing. So when we are trying to force an outcome, it never works out. We get ourselves in trouble. Things get held back. Things are pushed away. But if we can just, let things unfold, we keep moving forward, we keep doing work on ourselves, we keep keeping things going, that is all going to work out for your highest good. And it's all divine timing. There is a plan. But in that interim of when it happens, you had to have learned and passed all your little tests. Think of like this all as a school, right? So we have classes. And if we fail the class, we have to repeat it. How many times have you gone through the same type of situation over and over and over again? It's because you did not learn the lesson. So if you can just learn the lesson, then you're going to keep moving forward. The more you learn, the more you get to go forward. And that's where you're going to be at. So that's where it's at. So this is all about my life and my health are in perfect harmony. So serenity and divine timing. This tells an amazing story for sure. I can never do this right. I can never mirror anything. But anyway, that's how it works out with those cards. Now, they made me pull more cards. So there is one with a crystal card. It's the goddess Matangi, Matangi, and it's heliotype rope. Already there is value. So whatever that you're doing, there's already value. So this is the type of crystal that you need, and there's freedom along with it. So when you realize that you are carrying, so you need to have this. You need to have, it's Heliot, it's HELIOTROPE. When you have that crystal with you and you have it with you all the time, your freedom is going to come quickly. Your freedom is going to explode. You're going to be able to do the things that you want to do, live the life that you want to live. You're going to be able to have an extraordinary life. It's totally up to you, but it'll keep you going forward. You have the freedom to choose whatever it is that you want. However, there's always responsibility in choosing, and there's always a consequence in choosing, whether we perceive it as good or bad. Just make sure that when you are able to move freely in your life, in any aspect of your life, that's true freedom. And so when you have this crystal with you, then that's what you're going to have. That's exactly what you're going to have with that. The next one is Archangel Remiel, and it's Agronite. It's called Rest. So this one is rest. You want to make sure that this is either in your room or it's in a space where you rest. It doesn't mean just sleeping. It means where you have a space where you can just decompress, relax, quiet down, let everything go, like in a meditation area, wherever. But you want to have something that you can hold. So it's going to be bigger than a tiny little stone. And that's what you want to have. And especially you want to have this in your bedroom so that you can definitely rest. And listening. So when you're resting, when you are decompressing, you're actually able to listen. So when you start to listen, then you're going to be able to hear the guidance. You're going to be able to hear the ideas, the inspirations. You're going to be able to hear your angels talking to you. You know how when you have those conversations in your head, like you feel like you're talking to yourself all the time? You're actually communicating with your angels. It's not that you're just talking to yourself. You're actually communicating with your angels, and you're creating and you're figuring things out. You're talking things through. So when you have this, you're going to be able to do that a lot more. It's going to be clearer thoughts, clearer conversations, okay? All right, and then the next card is Ascended Master Serapis Bay, Clear Calcite. It's Karmic Grace. Clear Calcite. Now this card, depending on who you are and what you're going through. Now, if you put a lot of stuff out into the world that's not very nice or desirable, then you're going to have some karma clearing to do. You're going to have stuff to do. But if you're somebody who's out there and you are, taking responsibility, doing the right thing, doing the things that need to be done, getting involved, you have karmic grace. You do not have to worry about paying any prices. You do not have to worry about punishing yourself. You do not have to worry or think about things happening to you as a punishment, because in reality, things are not happening to you. They're actually happening for you, or that's in conjunction of a choice that you made, and that is the effect of your decisions. Depending on how you look at it. There's always a different perspective to look at everything, right? But for instance, if you are somebody who's out there and you're doing good things and you're helping others and you live an extraordinary life, it's not like everything's happened to you and you're punishing yourself. It is everything that is for your highest good. It's letting you know you have karmic grace. You're good to go. But if you do have stuff going on in your life, and you're not being good and you're not really putting the good out there, you might have something to clean up. And this crystal is going to definitely help you with that respect, okay? And self-acceptance. This is amazing. When you do not self-accept, then you are usually beating yourself up, and that's why they're telling you to have karmic grace. So self-acceptance is so important. It doesn't matter who you are, what color you are, what your hair is, what you look like, whether you got glasses, whether you got boobs or not, if you got the best body, no body, whatever the case may be, right? It doesn't matter. We all come in different shapes and sizes on purpose. And so when you can accept yourself for who you are every single way, hey Lisa, then that is what's happening. You are accepting yourself fully and you have karmic grace. That's how that works. There's so many things that are involved with the cards. There's so many things that are going on. And when I was doing this reading, pulling the cards earlier, I had no idea what the cards were until just now. That's what happens. These cards, people are dealing with a lot of heavy stuff, a lot of heavy issues, and that's what's happening right now. So when I pulled these cards, these are different situations that are going on. So this is something where if you contact me, you can contact me through Facebook, Rita Doman, or Just Rita Real Talk. You can go to my website, justritarealtalk.com. You can contact me at justrita@justritarealtalk.com. Or, you could message me here on Facebook as well at Rita Doman, and you will be able to get connected with me, and then we can do readings. Just look at what it is that you want from me, and then we can work out what the price is, and then you're good to go. But it's a great way to get some guidance, get some answers. And those are the things that I do for people, and I help them out with that sort of thing. So it's amazing how it all works out. So I'm pretty excited about that. So all you have to do is ask. I'm always available to you, and I'm telling you, the cards never lie. It's always to you, personalized for you. So whatever it is that you're going through, that's what it's all about. It's amazing how it all works out. I'm telling you, I love it. So it's something that I'm very passionate about, something that I really enjoy. And here is something to end the special card reading. And so here it is. All right. I should have done that in the beginning. It's the cutest little thing, right? It just came from Shanghai. I got it yesterday. It's like the cutest little thing. I love these bowls. If you ever meditate, go to meditation. Go to a place where you can find that kind of thing. And you can, when you listen to like the bowls, the gong, all those things, it really brings up your vibration, and that's something that it can really help you with. So it really is very helpful. I love this stuff. Love it. It's amazing. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So we're at 7:25. You are listening to Just Rita Real Talk on Blog Talk Radio. Don't forget to hit the like and the share here on this show. So on Facebook Live. So if you hit like and share, the love, do like and love, share it. If you have comments you want to do, put them on there. And what I'll do is I will gift someone, I'll put all your names in a big hat, and I'll gift someone a card reading. And that will be totally on me. It'll be a gift for all my listeners. So make sure you like, share, or like, share, and love, and share. and let everybody, the more people I can reach out to, helping people, the more I love it. As well as if you're looking to be a guest on the show, participate with me. I love it. I've got August booked up, but I'm looking for, well, not necessarily all of August. I have the 30th, which I think is a Thursday. August 30th is, I think it's a Thursday, is free. I don't have that booked yet. And I also have September going. So I'm booking up for September as well. So make sure if you have a story to share, you have something great that you're doing and you want to talk about it, we can do the show together. You don't have to be here in my home. You could be, I can call you on Facebook Live or, Blog Talk Radio, and you can be connected as if you're on the phone so you feel more secure. However you want to do it. I'm still trying to figure out Zoom and Facebook Live at the same time. So I've got to get a hold of Lisa and her husband, Jeff, so that they can teach me how to do that. So that way you guys can see who's on. So that's the part that I want to really incorporate as well, because they do a great show. They have Co-op Talk, what they do every morning from 9 to 10. And you can see everybody who's on it. You can see them. And then you have that whole conversation and you see it on Facebook like it's, right there. So that's something that I want to look at as well. Trying to figure all that stuff out. So I'm trying to do the best that I can with the one gal show. So hold on, let's see here. I try to figure things out and make sure I'm prepared. And for whatever reason, things did not work out for my highest good today with this whole Facebook thing. I don't know why. Let's see here, because we got to call Mr. Rasheed. And I thought I wrote his number down, but I can't find it. No, I cannot. Let's see here. As I got to keep talking because we don't want dead air. 7, 3. I'm telling you, you guys are going to love Rasheed. He, too, is an amazing human being. He is somebody who helps our inner city kids, our youth. And, oh my God, he does wonderful, wonderful things. I'm so excited to have him on the show, for sure. Gosh, I don't know what is going on. Let's see here. Crazy. Do you ever just have one of those days where like everything's working out for your highest good, and then of course you've got like a little snag so you can see how it's all working out? Wait, I hope that I'm still live. Hopefully I'm still live. We'll see. It must have cut out or something or done something. Yes, there it is. Okay. It's like I put it on my cell phone too. It's quiet, but I put it here on purpose so that I can see. It's quiet, but I put it here on purpose so that I can see. Oh my God. So that I can see if it's actually working. And of course, I don't know. It's crazy. We're like wasting time here. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, Rita. But I put it here on it's crazy. So I don't understand what to do. This is insane. I got to close it again. You know what, you guys? I'm telling you, this is all about, you can tell that it's live. And I guess live is fun because you get to see all the bloopers and realize, what's going on. But here's the other thing too, right? Anybody can do this. Anybody could have their own show, doing their own thing, sharing their own stories and their own life and helping people with it for sure. I just love it. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how this is not working. It worked before. I don't know, whatever. I'm just going to leave it like that, I guess. I'm telling you, sometimes things just are not my friend for whatever reason. I'm telling you, sometimes things why is this not working? Not my All right, friend. I got to call. I can't be wasting my time anymore with this nonsense. This is silly. I don't understand what's going on. All right, hold on. Let me get Rasheed on the line. So let's call him. Let's call him. All right, so dun dun dun. We're dialing, you guys. We are dialing. Oh, I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know what that means. If you place it in there, I don't know. That's loud. Hopefully he'll answer. Hello? Hello? Rasheed?
Hey, what's up, Rita?
Oh my God, Rasheed, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I am fantastic. Is this a good time for you to be on the show, or are you still at your daughter's recital?
No, the recital is over. This is a great time. Are we live now?
Oh yeah, we're live. We've been live since 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with someone of such great morals and integrity with a great mission.
Perfect. Are you like walking, or because you're cutting in and out?
I actually had to just grab my charger really quickly, so I am still out and about a little bit, but I am positioned to speak now, so yeah, I'm all good.
Okay, fantastic. Because I want to just make sure that everybody can hear, because we're on Facebook Live as well. So everybody, hey Frank. So everybody who like clicks like and love and share, then everybody, there's more people who get to hear it. And so I want your people to hear the show as well. So that is.
Definitely. Hello, Facebook Live.
I know. Oh my gosh. So how was your daughter's recital?
She did really well. She was on, I believe, the summer dance team, so they did a little routine. It was really good.
Oh, that is so adorable. That's awesome. So, as you know, we're on the line. We are on air, and we are talking about putting the time into our children so that allows them a chance to change their life. And I was letting everybody know that one of the things that, how we met, I did a Facebook Live earlier on how we met and how we were at a seminar changing our lives. And you shared your story, how you are helping inner city youth change their lives, creating a purpose and being of value to their community. And what a great opportunity.
Definitely. I want to just touch a little bit on that. I am a youth motivation speaker here in Chicago, and I motivate and I inspire youth to do great things, and that's just follow their dreams. And I feel like there's a lot of power within your dreams. So if I could sell a youth on their potential of everything they can become, I feel like it would render a different life for them outside of what society may have for them.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And that's something where, and a lot of people, especially, when we're in the suburbs, right? Our lives are different. Our lives are really not like the life of kids who are in the city. Like we, have our families, even though there could be divorce or things going on in our families, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's that tragic. And when you turn on the news and you hear about all the violence and all the things that are going on with our youth, a lot of times we turn off the TV or the news because it's too much for us to even understand what's going on. But these kids actually live this lifestyle on a daily basis, and they're literally living and surviving and strategizing to stay alive for the next day.
Yeah, that's the reality. You know, in the city, it's a little different just because of the economical deficiencies based on the neighborhood. But you know, the message that I have is tailored to that demographic youth, but also any youth that has a desire to accomplish something great here in this life. But I mean, that's the reality. When you turn on the news, you see that there is a certain demographic within a certain area on a consistent basis where, you know, bad things are happening. So, you know, not too long ago here, I was just looking for my purpose, and, you know, I put two and two together, and I did debate in high school, so I was an avid speaker, and I enjoy motivating and inspiring people as well. So, I stepped right on into this destiny of mine, and it's really been great to just see you just be inspired to become everything that they're meant to be.
I think that's amazing. That is something where when you meet people who are like-minded, it's amazing what you can put together and what you can create, things that you can do for your community. And a lot of times with the type of kids, you know, in the environments that they're coming up from, it's actually dangerous for you sometimes, isn't it? For you to like be a stand for these kids and make sure that they are living their purpose and staying on track instead of being sucked into gangs.
I mean, that's the reality. That's the reality you have to face with any kid. You know, they're so impressionable, and you know, typically, you know, this is the first time in their life where they're trying to find their, you know, what social circle to accept. You know, and the kids that they feel like they had the most common in, and if that's a game, then they can easily go in that direction. And I mean, that's the reality. And whenever I speak to them directly, I just try to be sympathetic, because it's very difficult to walk into that neighborhood and tell them, look, you could do better than this. And they're like, well, I live this every day. How do you know? You know, they're looking for opportunity. They're looking for sustainability. They're looking for an answer to a lot of questions that they shouldn't have to deal with as a youth, but they got to deal with it. So that's the reality. That's definitely the reality. And I know that every time I go in.
I think that's amazing. So talk a little bit more about like how you really got started. I know you were on the debate team in school and stuff like that, but how did you really create what you've created so far? Because your business, you're the executive of the lecture of life. That's your business. That's what you do. And so how did you get started? Like, how did you create? Like, what made you wake up and say, oh my gosh, this is it?
It was a combination of many things. I feel like, you know, I was trying to fit within the corporate America structure, and I was forcing really hard to fit within that structure. And unfortunately, it wasn't an ideal fit for me, but I learned a lot about myself, about, you know, being true to my gifts and my power. And, you know, I saw all these awards that I was winning in debate, and I was a good speaker, and I enjoyed just motivating and inspiring people, just, you know, saying positive things, I guess. And, you know, I was doing commercial printing for a little bit, which was design work. And I said, look, God, you know, what do you want me to be here? And sometimes it just takes that moment, you know, to get that clarity, like, God, what do you want me to do here? Because obviously commercial printing wasn't it, you know, going against Vista print isn't ideal, you know.
Right.
That was the juggernaut I had to go against. And, you know, I was just playing around on the computer, and I put the glasses and the tie together, and I called it the lecture. And Randy Pausch was actually, you know, one of my greatest inspirations. He was a college professor, and I don't know if you ever seen it, but to anyone, I would highly recommend looking at his last lecture. That's actually the name of his lecture. It was his last lecture. He was diagnosed with cancer, and I thought it was so powerful, just how you can motivate and you can inspire through a presentation lecture format, and that's what I ran with. And, you know, I present motivational presentations to youth, and ideally, you know, when you hear a lecture, you're like, oh, sitting there, you know, listening and taking notes, but it's really hands-on. It's really something that's catered to the youth to directly engage in how you would want anyone to learn. So it's very impactful, and I enjoy it. And I didn't know I was going to be doing this, and I'm just grateful for the vision, because it's very different from just being a motivational speaker. It's very different from just presenting, which I can do both, but to be able to present a presentation teaching about, how to overcome fear, or understanding your power and your dreams, or understanding personal growth as ideal to get to where you want to be in life is so very important. And I'm just grateful for the mission. I'm just trying to get it well done, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, and I think this is absolutely amazing. Like, I love the fact how you have started that. And I mean, you've gone to school, you've graduated high school, you've gone to college. I mean, you've done more than I have. I've done some college, but college is not for me. But, it just is amazing that you are an example. Like, you are literally walking the walk. So who you are and where you come from, you're literally showing the youth that you work with that, look, it doesn't matter where you come from. You get to change where you're going. It doesn't define where you stay. It's like a holding tank for me. That's how I see it, like a holding tank. Like, you're born in a situation, regardless what the situation is, you're in that holding tank until you're of age or whatever, and then you move on. But for you to be able to, grow up in a situation, grow up in an environment, and still continue and work really hard. Yeah. And it really is inspiring, because those are the stories nobody talks about. Nobody talks about your story. Nobody talks about, the winners that come out of the community. They always talk about the negative, the bad, the violence, this and that. So anybody watching, because we don't live it, it's the perception is it's all bad. But then yet you don't get to see all the good that comes out of it too, because you probably got a handful of people out of the whole that are bad, not bad, but just lost their way. Let's say that, because there's good in everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
But then here you are, you've gotten through school, you've gotten through college, you're doing all these wonderful things. And now you're taking all your knowledge and what you've gained, and you're literally helping the youth, the young men, and, the young people, the girls too, helping them see that there's better things out there for them, not just what they were brought up in. And to me, that is just unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely. And, my childhood wasn't easy. Being raised in, it's pretty much an oppressive community. And, typically a community is built amongst, obviously the people that live in it, they trust and believe in each other and they want to help each other. But, due to, obviously, history and, what African American is currently right now in society, in certain neighborhoods, is broken. And those are where, most people that don't unfortunately believe within their dreams are. And, you wake up and people are like, well, what do you mean you want to be this? You want to be that? That's not possible. You can't do that. That's, what are you thinking about? But I just knew I had a desire to overcome that. That's what I wanted. I desired to do that. I desired to get out of that. And you got a desire to move forward. I tell you all the time, just because chapter 1 started off the way chapter 1 started doesn't mean that's how the book ends.
Right.
A book that ends the same way it began, to me, I think would be the worst book ever. And it's just me, letting youth know and anyone know, live every day like a movie. I think if I was to look at my life movie all over, I think it'd be one of the greatest movies ever, because I walked out on faith within my destiny of what I wanted to do. I faced it down. I faced the obstacles. When I was born, they told my mom, this kid's gonna be mentally retarded. So I was already labeled and tagged. When you're labeled, it's like, oh well, this guy has a label. We're gonna, call him that label. So just that chip on my shoulder to overcome and fight so hard, and becoming stronger in the midst of the fire. You come out stronger. And that's just where I am right now, and I'm grateful. And to let you know, look, I've been there. It ain't me just saying I'm just some guy in a beautiful home, beautiful house, beautiful family, life's good, career's great. It's not just that guy. It's the guy that came from all of that to get here. You're looking at where I am now, but you don't even know. You're looking at my glory. You're not looking at my story. So if I was to take you back, to 63rd and King Drive, where we're in the projects, and it's absolutely, it's unhuman like, just the conditions, and you're dealing with obviously drug dealers and gangs, and you're dealing with people that are just, everybody from the walk of life has an issue. It's just not something simple, and many people can't understand it. Whenever I ask friends or Caucasian or Black friends about that situation, it's like, well, this is my perception based upon what I see on the news, and I'm like, well, some of that is right, but some of those people are good. Some of those people do want to move forward, but if they feel like they don't have a choice because there's no one telling them, look, I became a motivational speaker because I became that because that's something I needed at their age.
Right.
So to just go back and let them know, look, you can overcome this because, I was in that same situation. Let me tell you how your mindset should be to even get out of that. You can do it. You need mentors and you need to have a desire. Again, I tell youth all the time, no matter how motivational I can be, or I can say the greatest things ever, if you don't have a desire to change your life, it's just, it's words going against a brick wall. It means nothing.
Yeah, that is it's amazing how you have that perspective and you don't let that stuff stop you.
Oh, you can't. You can't afford to. If you give up in that situation, then that's already the bottom. So if you give up in that situation, where you going? You can't go any lower than the bottom. So, it was a situation where my brothers and my sisters, we were in a 3-bedroom apartment, and my dad was an entrepreneur, but unfortunately he was a bit distracted, and our family struggled, and my mom had to make a way on a lot of different things. Making me. Are we eating tonight? If we are, how many meals are we eat? Ready to go to school because I know I was going to eat that day, or just knowing that, mom is doing the best she can, so I got to wear these pants that have a hole in them for my uniform. That was just the reality, and other people on the outside look like, well, what do you mean you don't eat 3 times a day? I mean, because that's reality for them if they're eating 3 times a day, but when you're not even eating more than 3 times a day, I mean, that's the reality you're living in. I always told myself, look, Rasheed, these are just the obstacles you're up against now. If you can get through this, you gonna make it. That was
Right.
just my daily motivation. And, my favorite color is yellow, because, when I looked at the sun, I just knew that it was going to be a new day. It was just a new day. That was my motivation.
Oh my
Getting up
God.
watching the sunset, sunrise, it was my motivation to say, look, this is, I'm getting one day closer to where I'm meant to be. Even though I didn't know, and it took me, getting fired multiple times in corporate America to finally figure out, if you're a youth motivational speaker, great. Well, it only took 10 jobs, and just finding your way. You got to find your way. You got to trip, you got to fall, you got to get up, and every trip, every fall makes you stronger.
Right. What made you, so even when you were younger, so what I'm hearing is that even when you were younger, like you knew that you can get through it, you knew. What do you think that was in you, that spark, that fire that kept the flame going, that allowed you to keep not falling into the suppression, not falling into the black hole, not falling into it's easier to go this route, because it was definitely harder to keep going on the good path, not even a good path, right? I hate using good or bad because it's not good or bad. It is just what it
Right.
is. But it's the path
no,
of you deciding not to give up.
I mean, that's an easy question. It's God's mercy and love, every day, just dealing with the odds, me going to school, and, I was bullied, ridiculed every day, just because I was a shy, timid kid in a situation that, other kids were in that same situation, but I was an easy target. So because of that, you know, dealing with that, it was never easy, but it was definitely God's strength that just, you know, pushed me forward. I come home and cry, or I cry at school just because I didn't understand any of it, you know. But I saw also this neighborhood consume some of the strongest people I know. You know, people that wanted to become great or had desires to consume them. You know, because either you joined a gang or you took one wrong turn, and that's what kind of situation it was. You take one wrong turn, there goes your life. You make one bad decision, there goes your life. You know, you hanging out with the wrong crowd. Okay, they finna go do a hit. Okay, you get caught, there goes your life. You know, it was that easy to get off track. So I want to thank my mom and my dad, my parents, you know, because my mom never wanted us to be a subject of where we were from. You know, I remember one day walking down the street, you know, and I think I bought a do-rag or something, and my mom, like, just snatched off my head because she just said, she wouldn't allow me to do that. So I'm grateful every day for that moment to just let me know that, look, she was in my corner too. She was pushing me too, because I think she saw something in me. And when people see that potential in you, they don't want to see you go down the wrong path, you know.
Right.
And I tell youth all the time, I said, look, when you're around people and they stop pointing out the bad things you're doing, that means they've given up on you. You know, you don't want someone to give up on you. You don't
Right.
want that, because they're looking at your actions and they're making a lot of answers about that.
You know what? That is awesome. I love that you just said that when people are trying to correct you or yelling at you or whatever, that they're not giving up on you. And once they stop, then they've literally given up on you. That is very powerful. That is something to really think about, because that's true. When people don't care, even kids say that all the time, that they wish, and I've never really understood that until you just said that right now, where kids want to be disciplined, kids want to be told what to do, kids want responsibility. And the way I grew up, it's like, oh my God, I don't know why anybody would, but then there's always extremes. But when you just said that, and the way you said it and making it clear like that, it's like, oh my God, that's amazing. Because when people do stop, then they're done. They don't care one way or the other. And a lot of kids don't think about that.
Yeah, that's the reality. That's definitely reality. And I just try to reach out and just, let you know, look, you got something great. Somebody come offer you a better life contract than me because you got the upside at a time. I didn't realize I was going to be a motivational speaker until I was older in life. If I knew I was going to do this at 9 or 10, I'd be even more polished. I'd be even more successful. I'd be at a whole different place. But everything happens for a reason. But if you can buy into who you're going to become early in life, that just gives you extra time to work harder, to move forward in that direction, which is in your benefit.
Right. That's true. But even though still, it's like when you're a kid, you don't even realize, as a kid, you don't even think you're going to get old. You think you're going to be a kid forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't realize you're getting older until you're like, oh my God, I'm 18. And then, oh my God, I'm 21. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I'm 26. Holy crap, I'm 30. And then you're beginning my age. You're like, oh my God, I'm almost 50. But it's like, and I still feel like a kid. But honestly, everything does happen the way it's supposed to. It's all divine timing. And you had to literally listen and learn and go through all that you've gone through so that you can be powerful, because you are helping so many people in so many different situations. Your dynamics are spread out, which means you're going to be able to handle and help a whole different spread of people that you don't even know about, because you have all that experience. You can help them.
Right. No, you make a great point. And, while I was going through it, I never knew that was going to be the case. I thought, okay, this must just be bad luck or something. I just can't get a win. But, that's the reality. God took me through it all just to be able to bring more perspective and more light to people that are going through that situation. And there was actually a young lady that I knew who was this is actually before I, started, being a motivational speaker. She was severely cutting herself, like, very bad. And, I reached out to her and I just, I let her know, look, those dark places, I've been there. I understand those dark places, but you got to let the love resonate from God to help you come out of that situation. You got to understand your value is greater than the pain that you're inflicting, because one thing about pain that I know personally is that there's a comfort in it. And when you find comfort in that pain, it's like, hold up, you're talking about the light, you're talking about letting the pain go, hold up, the pain is comfortable. I know the pain, I know it very well. I trust it more than I trust letting it go. And to get people to understand that it's a great battle and a great challenge in life. And I'm grateful that I went through it, so I now can say, look, this is what life can be like if you let it all go. If you can understand how much you're loved and how great of a life you have in store, then you can really become something great.
Right. Oh my gosh, my phone. All right. No, I totally get that. That to me is like, and that's what I'm talking about. Like when you're dealing with different situations like that, like dealing with people who are cutters, those are such emotional, deep-rooted pains that they're dealing with. It's just unbelievable how all that stuff works. And they're trying to get to something where they can actually feel something. And to me, we don't know, we don't understand. It doesn't necessarily make sense to a lot of people. A long time ago, I tried messing with myself. I had a broken piece of a mirror when I was going through hard times, and I was just like, oh my gosh, you just ended all. But I never had the nerve to actually dig in and cut. Thank goodness. But,
right.
I get it. Like, I get those points where when you think that everything is against you, you have nothing, no one in your court, nobody's there backing you, helping you, and you literally feel like, you're worthless, you're nothing. And so it's either a way of punishing themselves or just a way of just having some sort of feeling because they're so numb with everything that's going on inside themselves.
No, you're exactly right. That was definitely the situation. And, typically in those situations, you got to, let people know how great they are. You got to help them realize the light that's inside. Like you're really special. And you got to like start with the small things by just looking in the mirror and just saying, I love you. That person in the mirror, I love you. And I know it seems very tedious and pointless, but it means so much for someone that's going through something like that, because they have to associate their value with something greater because they don't feel like very much. That's why they're doing that to themselves.
I totally agree. Mirror work is absolutely amazing. I have done mirror work on myself. I was going through a whole program in Chicago and with Landmark Education, and there was a class that I was in, and mirror work was one of the things that you had to do. And I did not realize how much I hated myself, how much I despised myself, how much I felt so worthless and not worth being around or having anything. And when you're in the mirror and you're yelling and screaming and crying at yourself and saying all those horrible things, your body, your cells are literally taking all that stuff in. And then when you get all that out verbally, then all of a sudden you could be quiet for a second and just start looking at yourself and looking in your eyes. And then you start to shift and change and your eyes open up to your soul. And then you're like, oh my God, my old friend. It's almost like ripping all of that stuff out of you. And then you start to learn how to love yourself. And when you can go into the mirror and look at yourself eye to eye without any kind of judgment whatsoever, and start saying wonderful things about yourself and loving yourself, that's when things start to shift and change. That's where, I try not to, for the most part, I'm not perfect at it because I'm not perfect, which is perfect. But
right.
I don't beat myself up all that much because I love myself. I know everything that I go through is lessons. and I can go to myself in my eyes and meet my old friend and just be at peace with myself and realize, oh my God, we are meant for extraordinary things. And the more I do that, the more I love myself, the more I keep things at bay that are not for my highest good. And that could be situations, that could be people, that could even be family members, where I keep all that stuff at a distance, because whatever is not for my highest good, that's how it works for me, because I love me more.
You're right, and that's what it's all about. It's about just loving yourself, and at this point, just considering everything I've been through, you can just look at someone in the eyes and you can see everything. You really can. Just I truly believe the eyes are the windows to the soul, and they tell very much without you saying anything at all. And there's a lot of people hurting just because of their circumstances and what they went through and what they've experienced. And I know for a fact, what they feel about themselves isn't what they feel about themselves. It's what someone else made them feel like. Hurt people. So with that said, even my own personal experience, a lot of what I thought of myself or what I was going through in my youthhood, it was never a direct correlation of what I thought of myself. I in my heart of hearts, I really believe I love myself. It was just the daily physical, mental, and emotional abuse that really took a toll, and it made you think otherwise, regardless of how you truly felt. And I tell the youth, a lot of what happens in your youthhood carries over into your adulthood, and that's why there are certain paths that you should just try to avoid and try to stay on the path that's going to guide you to your purpose and what you're really going to accomplish. Because when you take other routes, it can easily distract you and take everything away from you. But there are certain situations that you're born into, and you just got to deal with. That's just we all have to bear our cross. That's just the reality. We all have to bear our cross, and I looked at the Passion of Christ not too long ago, I think around the Easter weekend. One thing I noticed was, Jesus said absolutely nothing during that process of carrying that cross up to Calvary. He not a mumbling word, nothing. This was one of the greatest sacrifices ever, and he was about to face one of the greatest punishments, but yet he dealt with it. And what I learned from that was, everything I went through, all the issues, all the, pain, it was the cross I had to bear only to help and save others. So if that's what I had to go through to get to where I am now, I'd be crazy if I said, yeah, I'd do it again, but, well, if it was meant to be, it's meant to be. Yeah, I'll do it again.
Right? I feel the same exact way. Like, there's nothing in my life that I would ever change. Like, I would keep everything exactly the same. Because who I am today and what I've done in my past, I wouldn't not be who I am today if that was the case. And I would not have the life that I have today if I did not keep it all the same.
No, you're right. You're right. Some people say, well, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, but I think our beginnings through our lives say a lot about, who we are, what we've overcome. And, unfortunately, I wasn't given a small loan of $1 million to start a business. Unfortunately, that wasn't my situation. I was, born in an impoverished neighborhood, and that was the test. Make it out.
Right.
When you're in those kind of environments, the reason why you never hear about it is when people make it out, they don't want to talk about it. I promise you, making it, and this may sound crazy, but making it out the hood is going to be the hardest thing anyone has done, because there are oppressive things to pull you in. The community itself, the self-hatred. It's so much within the African American community that is being dealt with. Is one aspect that the media shows, which is the aftermath, which is the killings and the death. But you know, that's all built up amongst, you know, all of the issues, you know, where you can't eat. Like, if you can't eat every day, like, you losing your sense of what a human even feels like. You know, they're calling each other savages because it's like, well, if I don't go out here on this block and I don't go sell this work, then my people not going to eat tonight. That's just the reality of it, because they're the opportunities, you know, and a lot of people want to point the finger and say, well, this is bad, but I really feel like it's funny because there's always a difficult conversation to have, but I really feel like the self-accountability has to come from self. You know,
Right.
I can't blame Trump. I can't blame the system. I can't blame my mom, my dad. You know, Rasheed is at the point in his life because of Rasheed. Rasheed had a desire for a family. Rasheed had a desire for a house. Rasheed had a desire for a career and a job, doing something he loved to do. So regardless of whatever I face, it's up to me to buy into what they say or what I believe. And that mental strength means so much within that environment, within that neighborhood, because if you don't have the mental strength to say, you know what, I'm going to overcome, I'm going to be everything I wanted to be. You know, I was on a debate team in high school, you know, which was like, oh, you're on a debate team. Well, I had associates and friends that were not on the debate team. They were in gangs, or they were selling drugs, or they weren't motivated. And that's literally the main three friends that, you know, I was associated with, but that was the people in my clique. Those were the people I talked to every day. And I had to realize, just because you talk to them every day doesn't make that's a friend. You know, that's an associate in that situation. And, you know, their vibes and my idea, I was always that guy that was just like, damn, what if we could do this? What if we could do that? And, you know, a friend or associate would say, nah, we can't do that, man, because of this, because of that. I say, look, man, I don't even care. You know, I didn't care about any of my setbacks. I didn't care that, you know, I couldn't afford half of the things that I wanted. I didn't care about any of that. I had this sense, and I just had this purpose, and I've always been hungry for breakthroughs. Like, I've been a kid, I just been hungry for it. I've never like wanted to settle. I never wanted to, you know, blame my circumstances. I just wanted better. It's just what I desire. I want it more than anything, because it's like this passion, and that's where I speak from. It's this passion, it's the gift. That's why I let people know, you know, you're born with the power, and that power is your dream. And I feel like anything you love to do, that you're blessed to do, that's your power. And LeBron James, well, he was blessed with the power of athleticism. That's why he can go dunk over 2 or 3 guys. You know, that's just his God-given power. And, you know, to believe that the most difficult thing as a motivational speaker is to see people not live within their purpose. Like, that's the hardest thing, to see, you know, you got all this potential, and unfortunately, you don't want to buy into it. You know, I actually worked with someone, and, you know, I think they're in their 50s, and they just was like, you know, well, I'm unhappy where I'm at in life. You know, I settled a lot. You know, and this isn't me saying, this is this person saying that. And I just, you know, I looked at it and I said, look, it's okay. You still got time.
Right.
You still got time. You know, Colonel Sanders of KFC, he didn't get that going till about his 70s. You know, he was trying. It wasn't like he wasn't trying, but that's how you fail to success. You know, by trying. You know, I thought as a motivational speaker I was going to be up speaking in front of thousands of people in my first speech, but that wasn't the reality. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes failing, and everyone's scared of failure. Everyone's terrified of it because no one likes the sense of failure. You know, when I was on the debate team and I was winning those awards, I was happy but not happy because I wanted #1. You know, but you got to let the failure motivate you, not discourage you. You know, all the trophies, all the medals I got, there's no #1 places on it. But it was the motivation behind not being #1 that kept me coming and getting more and more trophies, because that's what I wanted. You got to let the failure motivate you. And I think many times, especially within that community of oppression, the failure is like, well, I'd rather not even face the failure because it's going to even more demoralize my mindset.
Right. No, I totally agree with you. And I think that's absolutely amazing. That's something where that's a thing where people have to look at. I love the fact that you don't blame your circumstances. You don't blame circumstances around us. Like you literally take responsibility for everything that you do. And that to me is something that who you are. You're somebody who is living in integrity, living the responsibility, and you are literally showing young people how to go about it. It may not be the easiest thing to do, but it's the most rewarding thing that you can do for yourself. And I think that is awesome. So what are some of the things that you do with the young people? I saw that you I think it was Mother's Day that you were a keynote speaker, which I saw, which I thought was cool. But there's a lot of things that you're doing right now. What is it that you do with the kids?
Well, I was currently working on my Unlocking Your Inner Hero tour. Unfortunately, I kind of had to put that on a hiatus or a break just because my wife is currently pregnant and she has some early contractions this week. So I just said, look, you know, it was a four location tour, but I was only able to get through 2 of those locations. And I just, you know, I posted on Facebook, as you saw, you know, hey guys, I'm going to put an end to this tour directly, but I got something coming in the fall. But I work with the youth through presenting motivational presentations, right? And it's a presentation where it questions you. It makes you stir up that inner debate about, you know, what do you want to do in this life? What do you want to be remembered for? What are your dreams? What's the power behind your dreams? It's stirring up a conversation that I needed to have, that I feel like many people of my color aren't having at all times, which is like, well, what do you want to do in this life? What do you want to be remembered for? And I was just walking down the street and I asked a young gentleman that. He said, man, I don't know. I said, that's what I want to talk about. These are the conversations you need to have now. You can't wait to 50 and 60 to say, man, well, what am I going to do in this life? Why waste that time? And you could, you know, answer those questions now. And so I present these motivational presentations and they're hands-on. It gives the youth the opportunity to ask me questions. I get to answer questions. It's hands-on. They get to write on a tablet. I mean, it's really just an experience more than anything. And I have a few YouTube videos in there why it's just not me saying it. It's like, okay, well, this is the perception of life if you take this route or you take that route. And I don't know if you remember the Ted Williams story, the guy with the golden voice. I had that video purposely within my lecture, The Power of Dreams, to let them know, look, this is how life can take you if you have a gift. You can be at a high one point, you can be at a low at another point, you can be at a high at another point, but it really depends on where you're at in life. And really what I'm trying to teach youth is, you know, first off, enjoy being a child, you know, enjoy that process, enjoy growing. Don't force to be an adult, you know, have a guide by your side, you know, understand that you've been given a great power and a great destiny to fulfill, and that's really up to you. And the reason why a lot of people don't live out their dreams, a lot of people take their dreams and their goals to the grave, is lack of accountability. You know, that's what I'm really teaching you, accountability. You know, you understanding that you are responsible for your dreams and your destiny here. It's not on me, the motivational speaker. It's not on Rita. It's on you. You know, do you want this? If you don't want this bad enough, then it's not going to happen. And I have another slide where I asked them, well, how many hours does it take to get to greatness if you truly love something? How many hours you got to put into that? And they would come up and they would write on the screen, and I would let them know it's going to take 10,000 hours. And I crunched those numbers. That's working 24 hours of 6,000 days plus of you saying, look, this is what it's going to take. So, you know, me teaching them accountability, me letting them know that they have a purpose, me just embracing them. And I don't know if you saw the one picture, but I give out the rings.
Yes.
The rings, right?
So, yes. And actually, I have those pictures. I think I have it on the Facebook Live. I'm not sure. I had to redo it because my computer shut down prior to. But on Blog Talk Radio, I did upload the pictures, and those pictures are all running there. So when you go to that, people are seeing all the pictures that I put up there of you and with the kids and with the rings. So let's talk about the rings, because on my little blurb earlier today, I talked about when you and I met, and I got to pick out a ring from you that you gave me. And I was talking about how, like, that weekend before, I was doing some journeying meditation, and I had spiders and webs around me, and you actually had that ring that had spiders on it. And so that is something that I have it on right now, and I'm going to show people if it will, my camera will pick it up, but I don't know if they can pick it up. I think there's a glare, but there's a spider in there. I can't do it. Let's see. Wait, hold on. You can kind of see it a little bit. You have to really focus.
Yeah, I see.
You do? But there's a spider in there.
Yeah.
And so I have it on my finger. And so it's something that reminds me of you, and knowing that everything that I'm doing and I'm weaving and I'm creating, especially in communication, so that people are learning how to communicate with each other, talk to each other, instead of letting, you know, a situation fester. Just take care of the situation right then and there. You know, settle it right then, instead of waiting and letting it fester and get worse and blowing up into violence. So that's something that I wanted you to talk about, because you literally give people these rings. Like, when you offered it to me, I was like, I was more than happy to pay for it, but I wasn't clear. And I was like, oh my God, is he giving me this ring? How, he doesn't even know me. He just met me. How is he giving me this beautiful ring? And so for me, it was unbelievable, and how generous that is. And so share that. Share what you do for these kids, because this is a huge token that, you know, the young people get to really realize, because who they are and who they're being, they're literally being rewarded with something magnificent. Because that's how I see it.
Yeah, definitely. And you're right. You're right on the money with it. It's essentially, you know, God put it within my heart to give out destiny rings. These rings embody and then capture everything that you are and everything you're not. They capture your very purpose here, and every ring is different. As you notice, they're unique to the person that selects them, depending on the color or the tone or the picture on the ring or whatnot. And it reminds me every time I look at it, so Rasheed, you're destined to be a great youth motivational speaker. This is what your calling is. This is what you will be remembered for. And I give them out to the youth to say, look, this ring represents your destiny. It represents what you're going to do great here in this life. And it's a daily reminder to never give up, to keep going, to face the odds that are before you, to continue to move forward. And as I tell many people, you know, typically in life, you know, when you graduate college or you get married, you get a ring, and that ring is a covenant. It's a bond that you've made with that success and accomplishment. And I feel the same should be made with your dreams. So you're making a covenant, you're making a bond with your destiny to say, I am going to achieve you. This is what I'm after, so I'm not giving up. And it was just great meeting you. I loved your energy. I loved your vibe. And it's kind of crazy because people are like, well, you walking around with these beautiful rings, just giving them out for free?
I know, because that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah. And that's the reaction I get. And, you know, I tell them, I say, look, everybody doesn't get one of these rings. You know, I'm led by the spirit of, you know, who when I meet you and I feel that vibe, I feel that energy, I feel that purpose, you know, I'm looking to help remind you, you know, get you to where you need to go. And if this is a small token to do that, I have no problem doing that. And I absolutely love doing it. I take them with me everywhere I go for the most part, because, I mean, I don't know who I'm going to run into. So just like when we met, I'm like, oh, well, I got the ring. So, you know, why, thank you. You know, even though I didn't stay for that full totality of that event, I mean, it was worth that 2-hour trip to meet you and to give you your destiny ring, because I feel like, we all need our destiny rings.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you. And it's like, that's where, everything is divine timing. Everything is divine planning. And this is the thing that I love the most. It's like, I love all people, I am not prejudiced about anything. I don't really care. I feel like we all need to come together and work together as a team, all of us. We've had flooding in our neighborhood, a good portion of the McHenry County, Lake County area. And so we were a part of it. And I literally watched people come together from all over the United States, even, like Hawaii, Alaska. It's just been unbelievable where people will come together, working together, South Carolina, Florida. And everybody came together, working together to help all the flood victims. And that's where it's like, why can't we be like this all the time, even when the times are good? Why do we have to wait for national disasters in order to come together and be as one? Because we're all hugging, we're kissing each other, loving on each other when we're all in need and helping. You know what I mean? When we're torn down to nothing. But it's like, it seems like when that stuff dissipates, then people go back to their own corners. And it's like, oh my God, I hate that. Why can't we all just keep playing together and moving forward together instead of being divided?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Ethnically wise, it's always been a battle before, because it's always got to be, white versus black or black versus white. Those tensions are put in both neighborhoods to say, well, what do you think of that race? Or you should feel this way about that race. And, being born African American and being raised in an African American household, there was stipulations of how you should feel or how you should think about Caucasian people, regardless if you met them or not. Mm-hmm. And I had to tell myself, look, I got to go meet some Caucasian people. I gotta experience this for myself. And what I've learned, what I've learned was that, like any person, they're going to be people that they either going to like you or they're not going to like you. It's not really about Caucasian African American. I'm a African American male who works within corporate America now, while I do motivational speaking, and there are certain clients that won't speak to me. They won't even look at me. They won't even give me the time of day.
That's terrible.
I have to understand that has more to do with them than me. The only thing I can do in this situation is be open-hearted and loving and caring and just try to help my fellow man. And it shouldn't be a great tragedy that occurs for us to work together. But the way society has us separated.
I
but
hate
I feel
that.
like in the heart of man, we all want to work together. But there's a stipulation where, okay, if I come around all of my African American friends, I got a Caucasian friend, or if you come around all your Caucasian friends with an African American friend, it's going to be that stipulation and that kind of look that you may get. And it doesn't mean that they really don't like black people or, my friends don't like white people. It's just like, well, society has told us this, why would you even hang with them? So it really depends on how free you want to be in your own mind.
Yeah.
Again, as we spoke of earlier, you can't let society, make those kind of decisions for you. It's really going to be up to you. And, I like to think I'm open. I like to think I'm willing to work with anybody, and especially someone that shares the same initiative that you do and that I do.
Yeah.
Why can't we work together? Who says we can't do this? So it really just depends on, again, the freedom within your own mind, because I feel like there's going to be so many people in this world that try to make your decisions. Okay, what you should eat, what you should wear, how much weight you should lose, what kind of pop you should drink, what kind of water you should drink, what kind of shoes you should wear, the way you should wear your hair. what kind of glasses should you wear? Like, there's so many people that's willing to make those decisions. And the crazy thing is, in society, we let that happen. We let, those people make those decisions. I don't even know who's making those decisions, but somebody told me that unfortunately I can't wear white past Labor Day. I don't even know who made that. Like, why can't I wear white past Labor Day? But that's like a hidden rule from society. Say, oh, you can't do that. And I've freed my mind from that.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of news daily because I feel like the media is there to put fear in your heart to do this, to do that.
Yeah.
Like I tell my youth, live every day like a movie. I live every day like a movie. I get up and I face the obstacles that I face head on, fully confident, and I'm going to do it untypically different from anyone else. So when you got that confidence, when you got that leadership quality, then you'll be able to get out there and work with whoever and do what you got to do. When we met, there was no tension of, okay, well, she's white and I'm black. Well,
No.
how we going to work together? No, it was just like, hey, we just vibed and we just had a desire.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that many people can't be like that because, again, they have all these perpetual decisions on them. They're looked at a certain way. And no one likes that peer pressure. You deal with peer pressure all through your life. No one likes to be looked at like, oh, well, why are you doing that? They'd rather just fit in. It's easier to fit in than fit out. So because of that, it's easier to say, well, I'll just have all black friends instead of white friends. Just because I know if I have a white friend, it's going to be difficult. I'm going to stick out. I'm going to have to answer those questions. So, would I like us just everyone to work together in the midst of tragedy and not? Yes. But it's going to take someone to be a leader to do that.
Right.
For someone to say, okay, well, Rita and Rasheed work together, maybe I can do it. Because when people see that a blaze has been trailed, they're willing to walk it. No one wants to be a trailblazer, but they're willing to walk the trailblazer route. Let's not confuse that. And that's what we have to continue to do.
That to me is absolutely amazing because that's something that I work towards as well. As well as living my life as a movie as well. I've always, asked people, I wish I could see the movie that you guys are watching when you see me in action, because I always get positive feedback. And I sit there and it's just, I look at myself and I'm like, oh my God, like what kind of movie are they watching? What is it that they're seeing that I don't see? Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm inside of me just doing what I normally do. But on the outside receiving, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this. And I can't believe you're giving all this, just going above beyond. Where for me, it's just normal. It's natural. It's something I've always done my whole entire life. I too grew up in a house where you were only allowed to talk to certain people. You were not allowed to date certain people. And if you did, there is hell to be paid. So, stuff like that I never even understood and I couldn't stand it. And when I was able to break free from my family, I got to have everybody, whoever I wanted or could not be a friend to, was my friend. It didn't matter what nationality you were. It didn't matter what race. It didn't matter nothing. It didn't matter. I didn't care. I was like friends, whether you're gay, straight, it didn't matter. Like I was friends with everyone. And that's the part where I think that I've always known that there is something special about me, where I know that there's something bigger out there and there's something bigger that I'm supposed to be doing, because I want to be connected to all these people, getting connected and creating something bigger than ourselves. Because I've been on this path, this journey, I've come back, from a background that was not the most desirable either. It wasn't all bad. There was good times, but the majority that really left a huge impact in me was not good. And so I've broken away from that. I broke cycles. I've done a lot of those things. And that's my dream, is to help people stand and realize that you don't have to be your parents. You don't have to be your, grandparents. You get to break those cycles. You get to say, this is your life. They've had their life. Now you get and do whatever it is that you want. You get to call the shots, in your own life. Nobody owns you. And when you are able to stand on your own and voice your, your opinions and say what you need to do and voice your truths, and you're going to start to realize how important you can be for other people. So many people are afraid to say what they need to say in fear that they're going to upset somebody and nobody's going to talk to them again. I've got, somebody who is desperate for their parents, and now they're reconnected, and because they're going through something tough, and it's like, I don't want that kind of love in my life. I don't want somebody to love me when the chips are down. I want somebody to love me when the chips are up and down and in the middle and all around. If my life is a tornado, I want you to love me if my life's a tornado. You know what I'm saying? I don't want somebody to be like, well, because you're going through this, we love you. It's like, no, I don't want that kind of stuff. And when you're able to stand for yourself and stand for what you believe in and love yourself more, to realize that you can love yourself more and love yourself wholly, you don't need all that other stuff in your life unless it's for your highest good. And you're really on the same page as I am. You and I are together doing the same thing. Our details are a little bit different, but what we're doing is literally the same thing, helping people realize there's more to life than your circumstances. And you can have it all if you so choose.
Yeah, without a doubt. You can, and you got to just be willing to live a bit more free. But that takes practice. I'd be lying to you if I got up and I said I didn't always think what other people thought. But what I had to learn from that was, and it's actually, the book I'm reading right now, one of Joel Osteen's books. And I forgot the title here, but let me just grab it here. You Can, You Will. And he speaks about, within the book that, if you try your hardest to make everyone happy, you're going to be the most unhappiest person, because those people are unsure of themselves. They're unsure of what they like. And that's what makes, life for them difficult. So why are you going to, wake up every day and, not wear this and not wear that because this person's going to think that or going to think that? I try my best to stand out and live freely and do as I like, because that's what makes me happy. Being a motivational speaker makes me happy. Wearing the color yellow makes me happy. Me being myself, who I am. And it's always going to be people that say, well, why are you doing this or why are you doing that? And I always say, well, you can do what you want to do too. You don't have to feel like there has to be a sense of confinement. And I've come from a place of confinement, and I understand that, it's that box, and you're going to live within that box, and you're not going to live outside of that box. But as I got older, I just start, telling myself, look, Rasheed, this is your life. You only get to do it once. You don't know how much time you have here, so what are you waiting for? And when I started thinking that way, it just reminded me to get up every day, Lord, let me know what your purpose is. What do you need from me to do? But to live within the freedom of my own mind, to not wake up with fear, to not wake up with doubt. Why can't I call Chicago Public School and speak with one of the directors and have them, bring the lecture into all CPS schools? Like, you have to start thinking about the impossible, because God can do it. He can do the impossible. So what am I sitting here with limitations for? Why can't I do this or why can't I do that? Because that's what, in my heart of hearts, that's what I want to do. I'd be lying to you if I just told you, well, I'm fine being a motivational speaker here in Chicago. I want to take this international. I want to be the best youth motivational speaker ever. And to just have that kind of conviction, people look at you like, well, who, I remember someone asking that, who told you that you're qualified to be a motivational speaker? And I looked at him, I said, God did. And that was it, because when you have God's approval, you don't need man's approval. Man's approval means absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
When God predestines your walk, you don't have to answer to man anymore. Man is just, they're more than anything interested on why you feel you can do what you want to do versus them not being able to do what they can do. And it's just my perception of how I want to live. I just want to live free. I don't want to have the confinements of fear. And when you let fear go in its full, and when you let fear fully go in life, you can truly start living life. You can truly start getting up and you can start looking at life different because you're not thinking about everything you're not, everything you didn't do, everything that you wish you could have did. You're not looking at any of those limitations. You're looking at, okay, well, why don't I do this today? Or why don't I do that today? Or maybe let's do this today. Or, every time I get up, every day is a different strategy regarding how am I going to walk more within my purpose? Who do I need to reach out to, God? What schools do you want me to call? And, this is something I love doing. So when you love doing it too, it also helps. I let people know I don't shy away from my desk, man. Like, I am still working in corporate America because, again, I need to become more self-sufficient. But, I let it be known, look, my desire is to be a youth motivation speaker. Like, that's my dream. Like, I'm not here to, and no disrespect to anyone that works in corporate America, no disrespect to people that have worked 20 or 30 plus years. If that was your calling in life, that was your calling in life. But I just don't think it's my calling to work in a place for 30 plus years and not fully fulfill my purpose. Like, I let people know, look, I'm a youth motivation speaker. Yeah, I'm working here, but, I call my job Hollywood because I'm playing a role. I come in, I'm a bank teller. That's the role I play from 9 to 5. But when I leave, that's when the real work starts. 5 o'clock, after 5 o'clock, that's just me putting in what I need, for life, for survival. But then it's time to work on what I really want. So, mediocrity is an easy sell. It's an easy sell. It means you can get up every day and you do the same thing and you'll be all right. But the greatest product available is your dream. It's the greatest product I'm selling you, but it's the most difficult to obtain because it's going to take everything out of you to truly get you to that point. And it's going to be based upon willpower. It's going to be based upon how much you're willing and trust the Creator to get you there, and if you want it enough.
It's so true. You know what? I totally agree with you 100%. I mean, again, like corporate America, people need to bring in money, whatever. There's people out there who absolutely love their jobs who are in corporate America. There's people out there who are the owners of corporate America. But here's this is the one thing that people have to realize. It doesn't matter how young or old you are. Nobody gets to decide how it's supposed to go. So we're not here on this earth to wake up, go to work, pay bills, go to sleep, and repeat. It's like a rinse and repeat. We're here on a journey. We're here learning. We're here, experiencing. We've got our lessons. We have all these things. We all have gifts that we're supposed to be sharing with each other so that we can make an extraordinary life for each other. That's what our life is all about. And when you can absolutely share yourself fully, and you're making it big when you're the motivational speaker and you're overseas and you're doing your thing, those are my dreams as well. So for me, I still have to do, some work outside of the home, and it's fine. It's not, that doesn't define me anymore. I have learned that that's not the stuff that defines me. And the people who have a problem with it have a problem with themselves. They're not confident enough to start living their own dreams. So they start poo-pooing on your dreams so that you stop doing your thing. So it makes them feel better. They want people in their court. They want people in their puddle. So that way they're not alone because they're not ready to come out of it. But as soon as you say, dude, I'll see you later. When you come out, come find me. And then you can start doing whatever it is that you're doing. And whether they're there staying in their puddle or they finally come out and come find you, that's their journey when they're ready. So, corporate America is everybody's worked in corporate America. And even the young people, as they start working, they're actually in corporate America, regardless if it's working at a Taco Bell or a McDonald's. That's all corporate. That is technically corporate America. Any job you get that is not your own is corporate America when you're getting paid by another company. So you have to have that experience. You have to learn how to interact with people. You have to learn how to settle disputes. You have to learn how to share, play nice in the sandbox when you're in corporate America. And when you start to learn all those lessons, and then all of a sudden that journey has ended for you, instead of being upset, you're like, oh my God, I'm done. I passed it. I'm good to go. Now I get to go to the next level. And you just start climbing up that ladder of your life, not the ladder of a career, but the ladder of your life. And then that allows you to do what you really want to do, because you're going to start to learn what your true gifts are, what you really love to do. But if you don't try on different shoes, how do you know those are your favorite? Do you know what I'm saying? You got to try them all out.
Right. Yeah, you're right. And you have to stop caring what people think.
Because they don't care.
You just gotta not care.
Exactly. Because first of all, they really don't care what you're doing. They're just talking. They're trying to coerce you into coming into their puddle. They're more concerned, and they mostly care about what it is that they're doing. They really don't care about what you're doing. You know, that whole thing, you know, like dancing in the rain and laughing and all that other stuff, because nobody's really watching, because they're so busy in their own life. So nobody really cares what you're doing. They just care that you're not with them doing what they want to do. But they don't care necessarily what you're doing. So just keep doing what you're doing and move on. And sometimes people get left behind. And that's the hardest thing for people to realize, leaving people behind. And some people are, it's like the poem Footsteps. People are in your life for a season. There's going to be people coming in and out of your life your entire life. They're going to stay there for a minute, a couple of minutes, months, years, whatever the case may be. Somebody may stick with you the whole entire time, but it's footprints. They're going to leave. So if you can just understand that and realize that people come and go all the time, you're really not going to care so much about what they think. What's most important is about how you think about yourself. And if you don't think good about yourself, then you're not going to get very far.
There you go. You just said it all with that statement. You need confidence. You need to just have an unwilling desire to know that you're special and that you're going to do special things. And, you know, it's something I deal with, I feel like, in corporate America every day, where people look at you and they say, well, you're working here, but in their own mind, but I don't have any limitations. It's crazy. It's the most difficult thing to free your mind of those limitations. But when you free your mind,
right,
you no longer have any limitations, you then can just do things that people thought you could never do, that you thought you couldn't do, that no one assumed or thought you could do, because they thought you were going to be mediocre too. You know,
right?
let's be honest, you know, and
they're hoping you'll be mediocre. That's why they're trying to keep you over there. They're hoping you'll be mediocre. That's what they want.
It's easier, and it's easier to have someone that's willing to buy into them being mediocre versus someone that's challenging themselves. And every time they come around you, they're like a parasite now. They want to challenge you. They want you to work within your purpose. And they're just like, oh, well, who's this guy? What happened to the old guy? You know, and unfortunately, I have a previous friend like this, where, you know, I've known him since I was in that same neighborhood that we just spoke of earlier. And unfortunately, you know, he's still in that neighborhood, which, you know, I get it. You know, life happens. It's not easy overcoming those obstacles. Let me let that be known. You know, it's not easy. You have desire to, you know, when I went off to college and U of I, like, that was my desire to say, look, this is me letting this go. You have to desire to leave that. But for me to go through everything I went through life, and us to be 10 years later, we're not kids anymore. We're not youth anymore. We're adults now, and to consider that you're in the same spot, and I've moved on, and I'm in a different point in my life. I remember I heard Snoop Dogg kind of say this, when you're elevating and you have friends in the same spot, how do you feel that gap? Do you drop down to their levels, or do they step up to your levels? And I think it took me a moment to say, you know what? It takes too much time and effort to drop back down to their level.
Yeah.
It takes way too much effort, because now you have to sit there and you have to come, you have to come to an understanding of, okay, well, this is your mindset. Okay, I have to kind of dumb myself down to, really, communicate with you again. And I'm just at a different point. So, catch me when you can, because, when people are not at the same point that you're at, you got to change the chapters. You got to go back a few chapters. And
Exactly.
you pass those chapters.
And you can't unlearn.
Pass those chapters again.
You can't unlearn what you've learned. You can't unlearn that. So even if you do try to dumb yourself down, you're not going to be able to do it very long, because you can't do it. It's impossible.
Right. You're right. And it's just like, you know what? Hey, man, I love you as a friend. If you ever need anything, I'm always going to be here, but I just don't have the time and effort of the association, because, where God takes you, every man is in it to go with you, and it's very lonely at the top, because you had to become something that no one else was willing to become to get to that point. It's like when you get to the top of a mountain, a lot of people are quitting 100 meters up, 200 meters up, 300 meters up, because, you need greater willpower to keep going,
It's true.
Everyone's not willing to get to the top. That's why I would, getting 100 meters up looking like, hell, okay, well, I climbed a little bit. That's good enough for my life. But what if you want to get all the way to the top of the mountain?
Well, let me tell you, the top of the mountain, it's not lonely. There are a whole bunch of people waiting for you saying, how come it took you so long?
Right, no, you're right. But when I say lonely, I mean that it's going to be a process of you doing it by yourself. Essentially, you're not going to be able to do it with someone else. If you can, great, but it's not as likely for someone to take that trip with you.
That's not.
Trip to get
Well, not necessarily, because you know what? You're going to find, as you grow, you're going to find like-minded people, and you're going to go with them, and then you're always going to find people that you're going to go to the top with, who, wherever that top is, you're going to find people, because you're going to keep attracting people who are at your new level, at your new level, at your new level. So you really will not go to the top by yourself. It's like it's one of the things that people, it's a negative thought that people say, it's lonely at the top. So they use that excuse to stay with everybody else. But it really isn't. If you think about it in a different perspective, you're going to let people off at the station who are no longer willing to move forward. They're like happy right there. But then you're going to pick up people who are ready to go to the next level. Think of it like that. It's like a bus station going, picking up and dropping off, picking up and dropping off until you get to the very top. And the people who really worked really hard, you're all going to be there together. So you're always going to find new people who you're going to commune with, and you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't even believe this is actually happening. Look at all the gurus who are motivational speakers. None of them are alone. They are connected worldwide with so many extraordinary people. It's absolutely amazing. So that's a thing where it's like some of the language you've got to change, because you don't ever want to think that about yourself, or put yourself in a situation, or allow somebody else to say something that would ever in a million years steal your thunder. Especially when things get tough.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things I am so about is language. Yeah, language is so important, because if you say it's lonely at the top, you're right. It's going to be lonely at the top. So why would you go? Why would you go somewhere where it's lonely?
I guess our perceptions are a little different. When I say that,
Yeah.
I mean it in a way of it being a journey less traveled, meaning that
Yeah.
since many people don't get to that point, since people die with their greatness, die with their dreams, it just lets me know that I don't mean it literally that it's going to be lonely.
No, I
I
know.
mean it figuratively as far as
Right?
that whole process. You know, to get someone to start, when you start from the beginning all the way to the top, to have that same person, that's what I mean. It's just going to be a process where you're going to gain people, you're going to lose people,
Yeah.
you know, and that can get lonely, losing people and gaining people and losing people that you thought were going to be there. That's what I mean. But you're exactly right. Don't get me wrong. You're exactly right. There are going to be people that are going to help you through the process, and there are going to be people at the top that are going to be able to help you even more enjoy the top.
Yeah. Oh my God, for sure. And that's exactly where you're going to be. You're going to be there, you know, surrounding yourself. And, you know, your mission, helping inner city youth, is desperately needed because these kids need an outlet. These kids need a mentor, somebody who can help them say, look, I ate, slept, and breathed here. I get it. I understand. You know, you brought up Snoop Dogg before. Snoop Dogg has done the same exact thing. He got out of the projects. He got out of Compton. He did his thing. He, you know, teaches football. He coaches football. He brings his kids into the inner city to show his kids where he came from so that they know where they came from, where they're at, and where they come from. They're completely blessed. But this is where him and his mother grew up and what they had to go through and all those things. Like, he really is a very good parent, and he really is a good guy and a motivational guy too at the same time. Even though, you know, he does his, you know, pot smoking or whatever, but he's even admitted, I never, you know, smoke pot when I'm with the kids or I'm in the period of coaching whatever sport that my kids are in. And those kids get me 100%. And that to me is absolutely extraordinary. Like, somebody who literally came out from where he was at in Compton and went into what he got into, making the money that he made, you know, got away from the gangs, you know what I mean, lives an extraordinary life, and he gives back. That to me is unbelievable. That is where what you're doing. You're doing these awesome things where you're literally starting to now give back and do these things for these kids so that they can see, look, I did it. And if I can do it, you can do it. And that's no joke. And when you share yourself and rip yourself open and you let them see the full raw you, then they are able to get it. They see it. There's an example right in front of them. And there's someone there who's positive that they can look up to and realize, oh my God, I could totally do this. I can get out of here. I can get out of this world that I was brought into and change my life. You know, that's the thing that I think is absolutely amazing.
And you're right, and that's definitely the mission. But, you know, I don't like putting myself in that box of just saying, well, I'm working with the urban kids and the inner city, because it makes
no.
I'm just working with black kids.
Right.
And I want to work with all of you to just understand that, you know, we all have a greatness and purpose, no matter if it's blue, yellow, green, white, or black. It doesn't matter. The purpose is to get people to buy within themselves.
Well, the inner city kids,
buy into your potential.
Right, inner city kids. It's more than just black kids. They're all nationalities in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, when I say inner city kids, I'm talking about all of them. I'm not talking about just one race. I'm talking about all of them, because they're all living a particular life that we don't know a lot about. We don't live it. We live in the suburbs. We live in our little cushy areas that are cushy for us. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's been amazing.
I'm looking to do, you know, visit other school districts outside of just Chicago, possibly South Holland, possibly Aurora. So I mean, I'm looking to definitely get the message out to everyone. So, I mean, you're right. The inner city kids, I think those are the ones that's on the news every day. So
Yeah.
we got to handle that, right? But,
Right.
just, everybody. I want it to be worldwide. I'm actually working with a gentleman in Africa right now, and we're talking about possible partnership too. So, I mean, just having people buy within their full potential is like the best thing ever. It's like your dreams. Like, it's just amazing to just see people walk within their purpose and for them to accept the powers that they get. Like, I remember the day that I knew I was a good speaker. Like, I was going to be a professional speaker. I was just kind of speaking in these different monotones, and I'm just like, wow, this is what I'm meant to do. This is my talent. This is my power. And through your power, rather that be speaking, basketball, baseball, whatever, you can help encourage and motivate other people to walk within their purpose. And
Right.
I mean, what we're doing is it's amazing. It really is.
I think it's awesome. So how can people find you, Rasheed?
Well, you can find me on Facebook. Just search Rasheed Sami on Facebook, or you can search the lecture on Facebook. So we got the lecture page up. We got obviously my personal page, and I have a group page as well, Dream Chasers. I believe you're a member of the Dream Chasers page, and we just post daily motivation, and it's just a community of support. So
Right.
either Dream Chasers, the lecture, or my personal page, whichever one. I'm open and willing to encourage and motivate anyone that wants to walk within their purpose.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. I'm so excited for you. We've only got a couple of minutes left. Let me tell you exactly what the countdown is. Isn't this amazing how fast it goes? There's only like 2 minutes
Really
and
big, really, really sad.
I know, there's like 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. So what else is there that you wanted to talk about or share or put out there so that people can see and realize what you're up to?
I just want people to understand that God's given them this great power, this great talent to really help manifest the world. And for whoever's listening, I don't care if you're in China, Europe, I don't care where you're at, Chicago, Atlanta, Montana. I want you guys to go after your dreams, your passions, because you only got one life. You only get one chance to do this, right? You don't know how much time you have.
90 seconds.
You're going to be called, and it's going to be over. So what are you wasting time for? What are your doubts around? I question you to go look in the mirror and say, look, everything that I am and everything I am not is this person in the mirror. It's okay to not be perfect in this area. I think we put too much pressure on ourselves that we got to have it this way, we got to have it that way. You're perfect just how you are. You have everything within greatness within you right now. You just got to figure out how to unlock those secrets in your mind.
60 seconds.
I feel like you're going to live within your purpose. So, guys, never give up. Keep going for your dreams. Follow me on Facebook or Instagram, the lecture on Instagram, and follow me on Dream Chasers, and let's motivate. Let's inspire. Let's do some great things, guys.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome, Rasheed. Thank you so much for being on the show. I totally appreciate it. Say again, you're on Facebook, Dream Chasers, the lecture. Oh my gosh, Rasheed, you're absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to have you on again. You guys, you've got to listen to the show again. And I'm telling you, this guy is absolutely amazing. So tune in, www.Just Rita Real Talk.
10.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Rasheed. You guys have a great night. You are so welcome. Bye.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Oh my gosh. All right, you guys. Oh my God, Rasheed is amazing. I just love that guy. So absolutely amazing. So you guys hear the countdown because I'm trying to hear both of it, but at least now you guys can hear the conversation. It's not just one way. So again, you get to see that you can actually be on the show and we can do it that way. All I have to do is call you and you get connected, and then you're part of the show. So I think that's awesome. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. All the people who did loves, hearts, likes, shares. I'm going to put you in a hat, and I'm going to swish it around, and I'm going to pull it out, and you get to get a reading from me. So I'm going to do that, and then I will message you, and then I will also put the winner up here and let everybody know that you were the winner. You definitely want a reading from me. So, all right, my friends, don't forget to check out JustRitaRealTalk.com. You get all the information, my blog, my radio information, as well as, you know, my coaching, all that kind of stuff that I do. So it's all out there. And don't forget, if you sign up on my newsletter, you will automatically get a gift at the end. It says click on your gift, and it is how to release fears and anger. It's pretty cool. So thank you. I love you guys. Have a great night. We'll see you next Thursday.